friends, it's Courtney Brickner, the CB behind the Crafty Brick. Welcome to day 23 of National Crafting Month, where I have been making some type of craft every single day this month to celebrate doing 31 days of crafting. Today I am doing some string art. Now typically when you're thinking string art, you're probably thinking the nails. You hammer them in and then do the strings, zigzag patterns, along the nails. But as I was searching for a template to use for our string art today, I came across another method that you could use for doing string art. Jennifer Maker had string art without using any nails and just using some cardstock. So I thought, why not try that as well and compare the two methods? So I did string art doing the traditional nails, and I actually did it two ways. So just having like a sporadic pattern and having just a random, stringing of the nails back and forth. So I did both of those. And then I also did the cardstock that Jennifer did using her heart pattern and some floss. And that one is a very systematic approach with stringing the heart on all of the holes. So I'm going to show you both of those ways to do it today. And let me know in the comments which one you seem to like the best. Which one speaks to you more? I'm very curious. I have my idea and I'll share that at the end, but that's what we're doing today. So I hope you're here for it. Let's get started. So this is the file opened up in Leonardo Design Studio that I got from Jennifer's free library. We're going to go ahead and send this to cut. And I'm using Romeo today. I'm just going to do a test cut to make sure that I've got the right pressure for my cut for the cardstock, and I do. So now we're ready to go ahead and cut out all of the holes for our design. I find that folding the mat back is a little bit easier to get the cardstock off, and then I take off the excess holes that were left on the mat with my scraper tool. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut the second one. Unfortunately, I wasn't using 12 by 12 cardstock. I was just using 8.5 by 11, so it didn't all fit on one page. Few of the holes did not come completely out, so I just used my weeding tool to get those. I also decided to choose to make a template so that I could know where to put my nails in. So that's what we're going to do first. I'm placing the template on, centering it on my wooden piece, and taping it down so that it will stay in place when I start to nail the nails in. Then I'm using the holes that I cut out with my cutting machine and nailing all the holes around my heart. So that just makes it simple to know exactly where the nails need to be. I like using a template. For some reason, my nails continue to go in crooked. So I used some pliers just to try to straighten them out so that it looked good when my string was all on there. And just a few of them needed to be a little bit straighter than what they nailed in. I don't know why my nailing was a little off. For this first pattern, I decided to just do the systematic pattern that Jennifer suggested in her tutorial. And I started at the bottom, went to the top center hole, and then just continued to move around the heart, starting at the bottom, going to the top, side to side, doing the nail that was directly across from the nail that I was working on. When I finished going all the way around the heart, I tied off the end and then just tucked in that little tail under the rest of the string so that you couldn't really see it. When I finished it all, some of the nails had pulled because I was pulling the string, so I just straightened those out one more time, and that was good. I really like the way this turned out. I think the pattern is really nice. It looks very systematic, but I just wanted to try another way. So I took all the string off and I decided to start over at square one. And I got my string, tied it on to that beginning hole, and this time I just did a random pattern. So I wanted to see what was the difference between doing that systematic pattern and the random pattern. And I actually ended up going like 2 times around each one of the nails, and I just kept going wherever I wanted. I didn't necessarily go from the top to the bottom or side to side. I just went wherever I wanted. And once again, I cut off the end of the string and tucked it under the bottom. And then here we've got the systematic and the random approach. And I'm so curious if you have a preference for either one or not. Next up, we've got the method without any nails, and we're just using the cardstock that we cut out, and we're going to take some adhesive dots and put those around the circle so that we can have a little dimension when the circle gets together and we're going to thread our floss through. I used this needle just because it was a little bit hard for me to see the cut holes and line it up. And I decided I wanted it in the middle also so it didn't sink in the middle. So I added a few more adhesive dots. Used the needle to just kind of place it where it needed to be, get it all lined up, and then press it together so it was held in place. Then after I got it all in place, I used the floss, put it on my needle, and started to thread it through the bottom hole. I pulled enough string through so that I would have enough to finish the whole project. I ended up not having enough, but it was fine because I just tied it off in the back. So I tied the knot, and then I came around to the front and threaded it through the top hole. Then I went back down to the bottom right hole of where I had threaded before and threaded up through that hole, and then went down through the back hole of the top, went down under. So I flipped it over so that I could see where I was going, pulling the thread through. And then I just continued that method all the way around the circle, going from the bottom to the top, bottom to the top. And when I got to the side, side to side, I threaded it through the hole that was directly across the one that I was threading up from the back. And I just continued that pattern all the way around until I got back down and all of the holes had been threaded through, and it was just crossing over in the middle, so it gives you that little pattern in the middle of your heart. I ran out of a little thread and had to tie it off in the back, but then I just continued on, threaded my needle again, and continued on from the hole that I finished on, and brought it up through the back and down through the front. And then I finished off the pattern, and I think it actually looks really good in the end, and it was much simpler without having any nails. So here are both of the techniques. This is the random heart with the nails, and this is the systematic heart with the cardstock. Both, I think, are very, very cool. All right, so here are our two methods. This one is the more random approach, so the second method that we used, and then this is Jennifer Maker's cardstock pattern. I think they both look really cool, and to be honest, I find it hard to choose which one I like best between the two. So I'm curious what you think. I do like the systematic look of this one, the totally symmetrical pattern, but I also enjoy this random. So I don't know, it's hard for me to choose. I think both are great. I think it just depends. Do you want to do the nails, or would you prefer to just cut it with your cutting machine and do it like that? I think both would work, and both give you a little bit different results, as you can see. So if you want the pattern for Jennifer's cardstock, which I also used for the hearts as well, you saw that I nailed those in. If you want that pattern, the link is in the description that you can get from Jennifer Maker's free library, and I put that down there. And I'll be back tomorrow with another project. Thank you so much for being here with me today. This month has been rocking and rolling. I can't believe we're almost at the end. We have like 1 week left of projects. So thank you for being here. If you've enjoyed this series, please don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on the notifications so that you don't miss anything crafty. And I will see you tomorrow live with a new project. So thanks for joining. Stay crafty, my friends. Bye.